Are you stuck in a rut? We're going to reveal to you how to get out of it right now.
Welcome to another episode of Millennial Mindset. We are your host. I'm Bryan.
I'm Dalton.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about how your mind is a garden.
That's right. Your mind is a garden, and every thought that you think is a seed that will grow.
So what does this mean? We're always preaching positivity. And believe it or not, you do create your reality. And I know some people are skeptical and they don't believe that, but it's one of the universal laws. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can change your life for the better.
That's right. You reap what you sow. The Bible talks about it. You've heard it probably millions of times, but you reap what you sow. What does that even mean? Well, you reap what you sow. So the seeds that you plant in your mind is what you're going to get out of your life.
So your mind, it is a garden. And like Dalton said, whatever you're planting, positive or negative, your subconscious mind, it doesn't have judgment. So whatever you're planting in your mind's garden in the soil is eventually what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And so as life goes on, you need to keep putting in positivity. Now, that's a lot easier said than done because you do got to put in the work. Just like any successful farmer, the more, and just like anything else in life, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. So that's why we're always preaching these topics of what you can do on a daily basis to get the most out of yourself, out of your mind. And as time goes on, you're going to achieve great success. So some of the tactics that Dalton and I like to practice on a daily basis to keep our mind and cultivate our garden, we like to use affirmations. We like to watch positive podcasts. We like to watch positive motivational coaches and dream build, journal, meditate. I mean, there's so many different things you can utilize on a daily basis to keep the weeds or the negativity out of your mind.
That's right. There's a few things you need to do. One, you need to stop the bad seeds from getting in there, because once the bad seeds get in there, then your subconscious mind will allow those to grow if you're not aware of it. And then you need to also plant the good seeds, and then you need to keep the weeds out, because those weeds, the negative thoughts, those people telling you those things you can't do, those are weeds that are growing in your garden, and they're sabotaging your success and anything you want to achieve, because it's creating doubt, it's creating fear, it's creating anxiety, and that's going to stop you. And you have to learn the tactics to get rid of those weeds and rip them out.
Think of it this way. Whatever you think about most often is what is going to appear into your life. If you plant an apple seed and you care for it and you nurture it, you give it love, you give it water, you give it sunlight, then you're going to see an apple tree start to sprout. And it's not going to happen overnight. And that's the same thing with your dreams and desires, is you can't just plant one thought and think it's going to germinate and have instant success. It just doesn't work that way. You got to plant a good thought, a dream, a desire, really think about it. Plant it in your mind's eye, nurture it, care for it, keep every single day. I mean, that's how much you got to care for these things. And that just shows how truly bad you want this desire, because everybody wants to be successful. You're not going to ask somebody, and if you go to 100 people, a majority of them aren't going to say, yeah, I don't want to be successful. Most of them, if not all of them, are going to want some sort of success. So, but it's one thing to say you want to have success, and it's completely different to carry out those things on a daily basis and show your true desire to achieve that success. You want to have that success more than anything else in life. Mm-hmm. And so if you're willing to do that and achieve those things, then you're willing to put in the work. And you're willing to do everything that we preach. You're willing to go out there and meditate on these dreams and desires. You're willing to visualize. You're willing to write them down. You're willing to give gratitude, even because when you plant these things in your head, it's going to germinate and it's going to take a life of its own. And before you know it, and it may take some time because life does challenge you, but these challenges that you encounter as you're achieving these goals, this journey that you're setting forth on, it's teaching you lessons because these lessons are going to help you get to where you want to go. And sometimes where you get to where you want to go, there are challenges along with it. Like, for instance, if you want to have a huge house, a lot of people don't realize that there's other cost associated with it: high property taxes, high insurance. You got to hire people to maintain it. So like some of these challenges that you encounter along the journey are getting you ready for those things, because the more you achieve in life, typically there's a lot more that comes along with it. So the challenges that you face, I believe, prepare you for that final outcome. So if I can give you one tip of advice, guys, for all our listeners, and if you're joining us and you're new, welcome to our channel. I hope we can inspire you in one way or another. But truly, truly, with all your heart, with all your mind, your emotions, everything, believe that you can achieve your dreams and desires, and truly nurture these thoughts in your mind, because they do happen. But you got to believe and you got to put in the work 100%.
Yeah, think about it. When a farmer puts a seed in the ground, he doesn't just leave it alone. How it works is your mind is the soil that the seed is planted in. The seed is your thoughts that you put in your mind. And then the water is the action you take. And the sun is your feelings. So a few ways that you can do this. One, you have to get rid of the weeds like we talked about. And some of the ways to do this is to break through those limiting beliefs, because those limiting beliefs are those weeds. And how do you break through limiting beliefs? Well, one way to do it is you have to be very mindful, and it requires some meditation, but you have to dig deep into your mind and figure out where in your life has someone told you you can't do something, or at one point in time that limiting belief came from somewhere. You weren't born with limiting beliefs. They came from your environment, from people that you've been around your whole life. And you have to take a look back in your life and figure out where that came from, because that was once a seed that someone put in your mind. Because you didn't filter it out, that was put in your mind, and now it's your subconscious mind has slowly been cultivating it and growing it. Now it's this huge weed in your garden, and it's a huge limiting belief sabotaging your success. So try to go back and figure out where that was planted, and try to visualize, if you can remember when that happened, try to visualize that point in time. And for example, let's say it was back when you were 15 years old and you told your mom, hey, I want to start this business. And she said, you can't do that. You're not smart enough. And that's when that seed was planted. And that's stuck in your mind and it cultivated. Well, if you can remember that, go back to that time when your mom told you that and try to re-visualize that. Visualize her saying something different, saying a positive thing. Maybe she was encouraging you to, yeah, you are smart. You can do this. Try to re-visualize it and create a different story in your mind.
Like Dalton said, sometimes weeds will sprout up. And this is just a negative thought, a negative emotion. I mean, everybody's human. So eventually, sometimes it will pop up, but you need to cultivate your garden. That's what we're talking about every single day. A good farmer cultivates the land, and they make it fertile for new good plants to grow, to prosper. So plant those seeds of abundance. Plant the seeds of prosperity. Plant the seeds of well-being, of good health, of good, anything you want, any dreams, any desires. Plant it, nourish it, care for it, love it, give it gratitude, fill it with positivity.
And what's a few ways that you can plant good seeds? Because as we know, journaling is a powerful way, because when you write something down, it grazes into your subconscious mind. So write it down in the mornings before you go to bed is powerful throughout the day. And then we know affirmations are powerful as well.
Repetition too.
Exactly.
If you really want to make an impression on your subconscious mind, repetition is so crucial. You can do this by journaling. I mean, one of our past episodes, I talk about my daily routine, and I have a journal and I write down, what do I want to achieve? I write it down 25 times every single day. When Dalton came here today, I even showed him the journal. I'm getting to the very end of it, and I just bought a new journal, so it's about time to start that. So repetition, keep doing it over, say it to yourself. If you're at work on your lunch break or when you get home from work, keep writing it down, keep saying it, keep reminding it, because if you truly, like I said earlier, if you truly want this success, it's one thing to say it, but then it's something completely different to carry out that journey and achieve that. If you're truly if you truly have a fire to achieve that success, you will do these things. And I think the sooner that you do these things, the sooner you begin to grow, and the sooner you attract these things into your life. And also too, a lot of people say, well, I've been doing this for a long time and I haven't seen success. Well, like the other thing, it's like our last episode, we're talking about faith. You know, when you have faith and you're patient and you know no matter what, it's going to come into your life, the more patient you are, and this is kind of crazy because sometimes, actually a lot of the time, I'm so impatient because I want instant success, just like a lot of us. But the more patient you are, and it's almost like you say, I want to have this and this and this, but if it doesn't come into my life, no big deal. And it's like when you just let it go and you have that mindset and you're patient, it comes into your life that much quicker. But then when you're saying, I want it, I need it, it doesn't come into your life. You know, it's like when I used to play baseball and I wanted to hit the ball, I used to like get so tense and squeeze the bat and I'd strike out. But then when I would just take a breath and just be patient and just trust the process and have faith, that's when good things happen. That's when you hit the home run. You know, that's when you see the goal. That's when you get the dream. So just trust the process, believe in it, have faith, and good things will come to you.
And I think because when we're so impatient, we're sending out such strong frequencies that we're in that state of lack.
Yeah.
So we're just telling the universe, I'm lacking this, instead of taking the opposite approach and just being grateful for what you have and just putting what you want in your mind and just going after it.
Exactly. So be patient, have faith, have the belief, and show gratitude. I think that's another powerful force. If you can be thankful for it before it even comes into your physical existence, you're going to attract it that much more.
Yeah. And when you're saying affirmations, it's one thing to say something, but it's one thing to truly believe in it. You have to say it with emotion because as we mentioned before, emotion, your feelings that's the sun, and you can't sprout a seed without the sun. So say it, but believe in it and try to visualize when you do achieve that, how are you going to feel? What's the feelings that you're going to create in your body, and try to have those feelings like Tony Robbins talks about incantations. It's kind of like a personal mantra you say to yourself, like, you know, like kind of to get yourself hyped up, and it puts those elevated emotions in you and it makes you truly believe in it. And when you truly believe in something, that's when you're truly going to achieve it.
And like the thing is, I notice with repetition, when I first write it down, my belief level may be low. And I noticed that when I did start writing, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that seems so far out there. But it's like the more you do it, and with my journaling, like I've done it like thousands of times by this time. And I notice like it starts to become more of a belief. It's like I put in this work. I am going to get this. I better get this. And so you'll notice that when you put in the work, it's like going to the gym. And I know you love working out. When you put in the work, you expect the result. It's not the other way around. If you don't put in no work, deep down inside, you're like, why should I get this result? Like, why? But you get more confidence when you just work hard, you put your head down, you say, you know what? I'm just going to go after it, full force, 100 miles an hour, and get it done. And then all of a sudden it happens.
Yeah, that's an important point too. Imagine if you had absolute certainty that you were going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. I don't care what it is. Imagine if you absolutely knew that it was going to happen. What kind of action would you take if you absolutely knew it was going to happen? You would probably take massive action. But if you kind of doubted it and you did believe it, but you didn't, you're probably going to take little steps and here and there. And, you know, but like, imagine if we absolutely knew we were going to have 1 million subscribers on this YouTube channel in a year. What kind of things would we do? We'd be putting videos out every friggin' day.
And it goes back to what I'm saying. Like everybody says they want to have success, but it's like, how bad do you truly want it? Like those who truly want it bad enough, they're going to put in the work, whether they know they're going to get the result or not.
Exactly.
But by putting in the work and having the faith and believing your mind is a garden and putting in, like filling it with nothing but good things, you're going to put yourself in a good spot to achieve what you want to achieve.
That's all right, guys. Success is a science. There's certain tactics that you can do. If you follow them, you will be successful. Just like what we're talking about here, your mind is a garden. If you follow these rules, you will be successful. You know, success is this combination of success and fulfillment. Like there's an art and a science, because it's an art to have fulfillment, but it's a science to achievement, and it's the combination of both is where you really get the maxed out. You really achieve all you want in life.
Yeah. So tonight, guys, put down in the comments below what you're going to fill your mind with right now. You know, put something positive in there, because like I said, your mind is a garden, and whatever you plant, whatever seeds you plant, good or bad, positive or negative, over time, it will grow. It will sprout. So if you have any weeds, it's okay. You're human. We're all human. Nobody's perfect. But be a good gardener, cultivate your land, take out all the weeds, take out all the negativity, and replant them with positive thoughts, positive feelings, good things, and little steps day by day. When you're nurturing these seeds, in the long run, you'll start to see a little sprout. You'll see a little sign of positivity. And as more time goes on, you'll see a flourishing, abundant, prosperous tree. And by that time, nobody can stop you.
And here's one more thing I wanted to point out that's very important. You have to prevent the bad seeds from getting there in the first place, because they're going to get in there regardless, but how many bad seeds get in there and start growing is up to you. And so a few things you can do is start to filter your mind, start to pay attention to what you're listening to, what you're reading, the people that you're around. Those things will put seeds in your mind. And if you have to have a filter that you're only allowing good things to go in, and this bad stuff is not getting in there. And that's very, very important. And pay attention to your environment and who you're around, because your proximity is power, like as we always mention. And also filter the words that you're saying, because the words that you say is extremely powerful, and that's probably one of the most powerful ways to make yourself believe in something, is the words that you actually say.
So when I was younger, I used to like to grow grass. I played baseball, so we played on grass. And I took really good care. You can ask my brothers, they'll tell you that like we had like the nicest lawn in the neighborhood. And some of the stuff that I read, it always talked about have your lawn high, have it healthy. Because when you grow your lawn healthy, thick, and it's high, then none of the weeds that grow in, they don't get sunlight, they don't get nutrients, and they can't grow. It's the same thing with your mind. The more success you have with this, guys, and you make your mind healthy and you make your mind nutrient rich, you'll start to realize as time goes on and your trees grow high and your fruit and vegetables grow big and strong, that these weeds, they may sprout, but they won't thrive. Because the canopy is so high, the weeds won't get the sunlight, they won't get the nutrients, so they'll have no other choice but to go away.
Yep, and they just keep growing and bigger and become more and more powerful.
So I hope you guys liked our analogies about having a garden and how your mind is a garden. We hope it made it easier for some of you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. We hope you guys like the content. Give us a thumbs up. Please share this video. Don't forget to subscribe and push the notification bells.
That's it, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys on the next episode of Millennial Mindset. Take care.
Thanks, guys.